How do you know if the person that you're seeing is emotionally healthy or emotionally toxic or not emotionally mature enough to handle the challenges? Because as you choose who you're going to partner in life with, I believe that decision becomes the person who has the most influence in your life. That person is either going to be a force for helping you overcome the challenges that the two of you are facing, or that person is going to be a force for amplifying the challenges. That person is either going to help you make moments fun and peaceful and enjoyable, or they're going to add to the drama and exacerbate small moments, turning them into fights. So how do you know if the person that you're seeing is emotionally healthy? Today, we're going to look at 5 signs that let you know they're emotionally healthy versus emotionally toxic. Check it out. Hey there, my name is Matt Boggs, and I'm the founder of the Love and Relationship Division of the Brave Thinking Institute, where our mission is increasing love in the world one heart at a time. And today we're talking about signs that he is emotionally healthy. Wayne Dyer has this great story where he says, you take an orange and you squeeze it. What comes out? Orange juice. Why does orange juice come out? Because that's what was in there in the first place. When you have partnered with somebody, you better believe that life is going to squeeze both of you. And when life squeezes you, what comes out is what was in there in the first place. And so we're going to look at 5 signs that when life squeezes you, how does he respond in those moments? And the difference between an emotionally healthy response versus a toxic response. Sign number 1 is he can say that he's sorry. You know, it takes an emotionally healthy person to admit when they're wrong, when they make a mistake, when they fumble the ball, when they break an agreement, when they don't live up to their end of the bargain. It takes someone who's emotionally healthy to say, you know what, I screwed up. Because the emotional healthy person knows that their behavior doesn't define who they are. Their behavior isn't their identity. If someone's got resistance to simply saying, I'm sorry, I screwed up, that resistance stems from this deep-rooted sense of insecurity. It's this insecurity that if I'm not perfect, if I'm not right in every moment, then I'm not going to be enough. I'm not going to be worthy. I'm not going to be loved. And you do not want that kind of person in your life. So is the person you're with emotionally healthy enough to admit when they've made a mistake and say they're sorry? Number 2 is he can talk about his deeper emotions, specifically sadness and fear. And here's why. Often men, we get categorized in we don't feel things deeply, or we don't have a spectrum of emotions, and that's just not true. We absolutely do. But it is true that we often have conditioning that it's not okay to be afraid because being scared isn't manly, or it's not okay to be sad because being sad isn't manly. I have the blessing of having an amazing father in my life, a father who demonstrated that it was okay to feel things, demonstrated that it was okay to express emotion. I always remember the first time I saw my father break down in tears, and he had spent 10 days at this silent meditation retreat, not speaking for 10 days. And he comes home and he embraces my mom and he just cries. And I remember feeling shocked and unnerved. It was the first time I'd seen my dad cry like this isn't. And I remember thinking, well, this isn't what men are supposed to do. And then he took me and he sat me on his lap and he told me how much he loved me, told me how much he missed me. And he had tears coming down his face. And it was the first time that I saw that it was okay for a man to show emotion. And I feel very blessed to have attracted men in my life, great long-lasting friendships, that they can talk about what they're scared about going on in work, or what they feel sad about. And you want a man who's able to connect to those emotions as well, not just able to be angry at something, but get underneath that to say, what might I be scared about? What might I be sad about? And to share that with you. Number 3 is he's done his forgiveness work. Listen, if you're human, you've got forgiveness work to do. Whether it's from a crappy childhood, whether it's from someone who betrayed you, or your heart being broken, or there's some sort of forgiveness work for all of us to do, even if it's forgiveness work of ourselves, a mistake or an error that we made. There's a really good friend of mine who grew up with a really tough childhood. His father beat him, his father choked him and used a belt on him, and all kinds of physical abuse. And instead of just harboring that emotion and suppressing all of that anger, This man has gone to counseling. This man has figured out how to rise above that. This man has figured out how to become a better man for that. And now when he talks about his father, you can tell there's not all this resentment or anger towards him, but there's forgiveness and compassion, and he set himself free. You don't want a partner in your life who's not willing to do that work and walk that journey. It doesn't mean that we have to be perfect at this, but it does mean that he's willing to do the forgiveness work, so he's not harboring all that resentment. In fact, it's the forgiveness work that often is the biggest barrier for us opening our hearts and really allowing love in the first place. So if that's something that you would love support with, if you've been struggling with how to forgive the past, release the past, heal the past, and move forward, our program, Manifest Your Man, would be a wonderful support for you, because the whole first section of that program is all inner work, and you do some amazing forgiveness work, some amazing release work, so you can move forward in your love life with power, with grace, and attract someone even faster. So if that is interesting to you, click the link in this video. You can fill out a form to learn more about how that process could serve you. Number 4 is he's compassionate with himself and compassionate with you. He doesn't hold himself to these impossible standards and then berate himself when he doesn't achieve those standards. If he falls short or he makes a mistake, he's compassionate with himself. He owns it, as we've talked about before, but he's also compassionate, doesn't beat himself up. And he offers that same compassion to you. If you make a mistake, if you fall short, he says, you know what? That's part of life, and he's willing to hold compassion in a soft place for you to fall. Because the degree to which we're able to offer ourselves compassion and patience and understanding is directly related to the degree that we can offer that to someone else in our life. And number 5 is he sets healthy boundaries. And what this means is, in life, there are more opportunities that come our way than we have time to say yes to. And he is able to distinguish between opportunities that really fit inside the life that he wants and are going to lead him to where he wants to go, and opportunities that really are outside of the life that he wants, opportunities that are more like obligations or someone else's dream. And he's able to say no to those things. He's able to determine, is this aligned with my values? Is this aligned with my spiritual values? Is this aligned with who I am and the life that I want? And if it's not, he can say no to that opportunity and let it go. What a great, healthy practice for really all of us. So there you have it, the 5 signs that your man is emotionally healthy. My question for you is, what signs have you noticed when you're dating someone and you're like, wow, this person is really healthy, they've done their work? What signs have you noticed? Post those in the comment section below. I appreciate you. Here's to your amazing love life, and thanks for watching.